What's up, everyone? There's a powerful concept in the field of counseling and psychology called Sunday neuroses. This term was coined by Austrian psychiatrist Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl, you most likely know from the book he wrote, Man's Search for Meaning, a book he wrote after he survived the Nazi concentration camps. The book is so powerful. It's challenging to sit and read all the way through. Most likely you're going to have to step back and take a breath and take a moment as you're reading it and pause, because it explains the horrors that he survived. But from the depths of the hell that he went through, he created an approach to counseling and psychology called logotherapy. And logotherapy is all about finding meaning in your life. Think about the ancient Greek myth of Sisyphus. Sisyphus was condemned to roll a rock up a hill every single day of his life, and then the rock would just fall right back down to the bottom, and he would have to do it again the next day. So the philosopher Albert Camus wrote a book called The Myth of Sisyphus, in which he talked about how Sisyphus could find meaning in doing the same thing again and again. So now let's tie all this together. Sunday neuroses and this concept of finding meaning no matter what. Well, here it is. This concept of Sunday neuroses occurs when it's Sunday. You worked all week long in a job that maybe you really don't have any connection with. You don't have any passion around the job that you're doing. So then on Sunday, you sit back on a day off and say, I don't really have meaning in what I'm doing in my life. And this causes angst, discontent. So what do you do with that? Wait a minute. Let's amplify that, because in the midst of a worldwide lockdown, many people are off every day of the week, which means the Sunday neuroses becomes a neuroses of every day of the week. And how do we handle this? How do we really dive into this and counter it? What's the antidote? Well, the antidote is meaning. When you can find meaning in your life, it radically changes everything. Back to that philosopher Albert Camus, C-A-M-U-S. When Albert Camus talked about the meaning that Sisyphus could find in his life, he said, once the meaning becomes real, now rolling the rock up the hill, it doesn't matter what the task is. It matters how it's connected to your meaning. So what does all this mean for you? Well, right here, right now. What's your meaning? What's your purpose? What's your intention with every single day of your life? If you have no meaning, if you have no purpose, if you have no intention with how you're moving through your life, then now is the time to step back, reflect, and really figure out what your meaning is. It's not a small thing. Your meaning, and it's personal to you. So no one can come along and tell you, hey, this is what your destiny is. That's for you to find. And one of the great things about this is it's your own adventure. It's your own journey into the depths of your as of yet undiscovered psyche. And the more you go deeply into your own mind, the more you can come out transformed, much like the myth of Jonah in the well, goes into the well, comes out transformed. If you can go into your own mind, you can come out transformed. The key to doing it, the rope or the thread of Ariadne. If you remember Ariadne from Greek mythology, Ariadne gave a thread to Theseus, who had to defeat a minotaur. These are a bunch of fancy names, but here's the key. There was a king who was sacrificing a bunch of young people in ancient Greece. And so Theseus, this Greek hero, said, I got to come over and end this stuff. And the sacrifice occurred when these young people would go into a maze, and then they would be faced with this Minotaur, which was half man, half beast, and he would devour the sacrifice every year. So Theseus goes through, but in this maze, which was hard to navigate, both into to get to the beast and then out to be able to be safe if you could defeat the beast, you had to have some way to get out of this maze. So Ariadne gave Theseus a spool of thread that he unwound as he sought after that beast. He beats the Minotaur, and then he follows Ariadne's thread all the way back out. So what is Ariadne's thread have to do with any of this? Well, it's this. If you can create meaning in your life, your meaning will ultimately be Ariadne's thread for you in your own life. So take some time this week, take some time today if you can, and really reflect on what is your meaning, what is your purpose, because once you know your why, oh my goodness, everything else will fall into place. I promise you that once you find your meaning, the outside world won't impact you in the same way because you will determine your path. Hey, until next time, as always, I wish you much peace.